class today, we talked about the difference between perimeter and area when we're looking at squares and rectangles. So just for a quick recap, when you're talking about perimeter, you're looking at the length of all of the sides together. So imagine if you had a little part of your yard that you were trying to grow vegetables in, for example, and you wanted to put a fence around it to keep the squirrels out. You would need to know the length of all of the sides before you head off to a Home Depot or Lowe's to buy your fencing. So that's what perimeter is. It's the length of all the sides added together. And we learned two different formulas. A formula is a rule that you can use to solve all the problems to do with perimeter. And we talked about there were two different types of rules. I think we actually came up with a couple more as well, but there are two different main rules that you can use. One is you could add the width twice. So the width we talked about being the shortest side of a rectangle. In this case, it doesn't really apply to a square because all the sides are the same length, right? But generally we're going to use this wording anyway. So you add the width twice and the length twice, right? And that will give you the perimeter. Or you could take a little shortcut. You could take the width and the length, add them together and multiply that by 2 because it would be double, right? And so that would also give you the perimeter. Okay, so in this case, you would do 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. Or you could do 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 times 2 is 28. So you would end up with an answer of 28 centimeters. Well, which is the same as saying 7 times 4, right? Okay, now if you have a rectangle, that's when the formulas really come in handy. So in this case, you would do width plus width, so that would be 3 plus 3, width being the shortest side, plus the length, and then you could just add those up, which would be 6 plus 12 is 18 inches. Or you could do the width, 3, plus the length, which is 6, times 2. So that would be 6 plus 3, that's 9. And then multiply that by 2, which gives you 18. So hopefully you have the same answer. So you can pick whichever formula you feel best fits how you like to solve this problem. Okay. Now area is different because area is not talking about the length of all the sides. It's talking about the space inside the rectangle or the square. And it is measured in squares. So if we were to draw this square out, this 3 by 3 foot square, you would have 3 squares, 3 rows, right? And then you would also have 3 rows going this way. And so the rule for area is much easier than perimeter, I find. You're basically going to multiply the width times the height. In this case, they're both the same length, so it doesn't matter which one is the width, which one is the height. And you would just multiply them together. So in this case, you would do 3 times 3 is 9. And because area is measured in squares, we're going to put this little symbol here, which means square. Don't forget to put this little symbol because if you don't put that in your answer, you're going to get points taken off. That's really important. All right, now when we're looking at this rectangle, then it's very simple. We're going to do 9 times 2. Got another same answer, 18 meters squared, right? Because your answer for area is always going to be squared. Okay, so that's just a little review. And if you look at the next video, we'll go into a little bit more depth with solving problems involving perimeter and area.